Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Fantasy Football University, FFU, coming at you in week 16 of the regular season, week 16 of the fantasy football season, week 2 of the fantasy football playoffs. I'm Mr. Bill DeCousis. I'm here with Mr. Tom Lang. Mr. Lang, you ready for week 16 here?
Oh, I'm ready for week 16. We are excited for week 16. Some of us are excited in different ways, and some of us are excited in the way that, we got fantasy football, right? So some of us here are excited for best ball.
Yes. Why don't you catch everybody up on that? I know you've been mentioning little things, and I think maybe we've been bereft of the context for some of our viewers. So why don't you explain to people where you're in
Yeah,
on that?
so I've been in I was in four best ball leagues this year. And three out of the four I made it to the playoff. So I'm not sure if all you guys are familiar with best ball, but on DraftKings, basically you play from week 1 to 14, and the highest scorer moves on to the playoff. I was the highest scorer in three out of four. And I moved on to the playoff. And basically, it's a 20-round draft, and you have to pick some really late round shots. And there is no way that you can actually manipulate your roster at all. After the draft is done, it's set it and forget it. So, this is where the draft really counts, and you got to take your late round shots. I had Cam Scattaboo in some of them. I had Jackson Dart in some of them. And right now, at this point in time, it is the semifinals. So there is 12 teams I have to go against again. And then I'm going against 121 teams. No, sorry, 1,021 teams to make a $2 million first place prize. But if you cap into the top 100, you're making triple digits. So actually, you're making anywhere from 10,000 and above. So it's pretty hefty. And I'm excited to see where I place. Unfortunately, this is one of my heavy ones. I lost Tua, so I am riding on only Baker Mayfield for the remaining 2 weeks, and I do feel pretty confident that Baker is going to produce for not having to compete with other players on my roster to overproduce. So I'm excited. I'm ready to go, and we'll see. I'll keep you guys in the loop. You'll see a sorrow face next week, or you'll see a very, very excited face for multiple leagues. The greatest thing is I have multiple opportunities to get there, which is great.
Good. We're excited for you. In quote unquote regular fantasy football, Tommy's only active team is the one that he's in with me, the high stakes league, the one that we've broadcasted to everybody, our draft, etc. So we're in the semifinals there, and we're excited for the game. We got a good shot at winning this.
Yeah.
We did a lot of denial on the waiver wire from our opponent who desperately needed a wide receiver who may or may not he won't have Devontae Adams. He may or may not have Quentin Johnston. His Xavier Worthy is down the toilet, especially with the Mahomes situation. So we worked hard to deny him at wide receiver.
Yeah,
So
and especially in a fab league, you got to
yeah,
manage your
yeah,
fab,
you
not just
gotta.
through the regular season, but you got to manage it through the playoff as well too. So even if you got like $7 left and somebody
It,
has $0,
It came in handy. It came in
it comes
handy.
in handy.
So the funny thing though, Tommy, is you were mentioning Baker. So he has Baker Mayfield. So you're going to be a little bit,
That's fine.
conflicted.
One player could go off on the roster. You just don't want all those players to go off
Yeah.
like a Kyle Pitts. So
Yeah. So this is an interesting slate of games here. I'm excited to jump right in. You want any other thoughts?
no, but outside of please subscribe. We truly appreciate everybody that has tuned into our content. This entire regular season and the off season, we will be bringing more content through the off season, and we're excited to also do some lives this year. And then once our YouTube platform starts taking off a little bit more aggressively, we will go doing lives on YouTube as well too.
Oh, we got lots of stuff planned. All right. Let's jump right in here. Before we mention the thing, all the lines and everything from the games, just want to re-mention to everybody, all of our must starts and probably starts will be posted in the description of this episode's video on YouTube. So please check us out there, if you please. All right.
And before we get into the game slate of games, just remember there is two Saturday
That's
games
right.
this week. And we'll obviously be covering them as we get through them. But Philadelphia versus Washington and also the Packers and Chicago are Saturday games. So
Right.
be prepared. There is no college football anymore outside that's relevance of multiple slates of games. There's obviously the college football playoff that's starting. So
Yep.
Let's get into it.
Let's go. We got the LA Rams at the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks are home favorites, minus 1.5 points. The over-under is 42.5 points. This line has bumped around everywhere. The Rams were favored, then it was a pick 'em, and then now the Seahawks are favored, and then it went back, and now the Seahawks are favored again. So it's going to be a difficult game, and I actually agree with the Vegas line here that it's going to be a lower scoring game. So we'll talk about the options here.
Okay.
Must starts in this game. You're playing Kyren Williams, you're playing Puka Nacua, and you're playing Colby Parkinson. How could you
Yep.
not? How could you not? With Javonte situation, Colby Parkinson's going to be good. And Seattle, you're going to play JSN. Probably starts in this game. Given the line and given the quality of both teams and the defenses, you could throw in both defenses here, the Rams and the Seahawks. Maybe not the absolute best plays this week, but you're not walking away from them. Not after everything that's been going on this year. One other probably start in this game, and basically just because he's the MVP front runner, and how could you not? It's Matt Stafford. Although I think I would adjust expectations in this game. He's
Yeah.
not going to put up, especially with Javonte out. He's not going to put up 4 touchdowns. It's just not going to happen. But it's Matt Stafford, MVP candidate. He'll get you, what would otherwise be streaming numbers, and it's Matt Stafford. You could roll with him. Now, we notably left a name off this list, Tommy, and he was gigantic, in our TikTok shorts and everything. So let's go to general options here. Tommy, this is where I landed with Blake Corum. You tell me if you disagree. You see our list here. You see what's in our show doc. I don't I cannot see myself playing Corum over any person, obviously in must start or probably start. I can't. Now, if you want to lump him ahead of everybody else in general options across the board, that's fine. But can you name one person in probably start you would play him over?
One person to probably start, I probably would play him over is Aaron Jones.
You would play him over Aaron Jones. The Vikings are favored playing the worst defense.
Yep. I favor him over Aaron Jones this week. I'd favor him over. Honestly, I know on one of our TikTok shorts, you went against Breece Hall, but I go against Breece Hall. I would go against
Why though?
uh
Why? Explain to everybody. To take the time to flesh it out. Like,
okay, the past 3 weeks, Blake Corum is the number 8 running back in fantasy football. And he's received 30 touches on the ground. When it comes down to carries, he has 280 yards. He has 4 touchdowns, and then his receptions. I mean, he only has 1 reception for 3 yards, so he's not getting the air yards and everything like that. But he is the number 8 running back in fantasy football. If you go to inside the 20, he is the number 7. 7 touches, 41 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So he is getting carries inside the 20 as well, too. I don't see, obviously if this isn't a full point PPR, it's very close, but I still lean Blake Corum here because of his touchdowns. Aaron Jones is not he's not getting the touches like he normally would inside the red zone because they're not getting there. Now they're scoring outside the red zone. They're scoring on broken plays. But, I just don't see I don't see it a good viable option to start Jones over Blake Corum
can I
based
can
on the production.
let me temper your expectations on let me counter what you're saying about Blake Corum. So you're right. Statistically, you're right about Blake Corum the last 3 weeks. Can I tell you the teams that they've played the last 3 weeks? Week 13, Carolina. Week 14, Arizona. Week 15, they had the gigantic 50 million point shootout with Detroit. So
Okay.
this is
Do
not
you
going
remember
to
what,
be like that.
yeah,
This is Seattle
but do you remember what happened against Carolina? Carolina won that game. That was a competitive
in a
game, right?
shootout.
Okay.
Shootout.
That was a competitive game, right? This is the divisional game. Like I said in the waiver show, and I said last week, and I said the week prior. This team to win late in the season games is going to have to grind the ball. Kyren Williams has been fantastic. He's been great. There is no hesitation about starting Kyren Williams. If you have a hesitation about starting Kyren Williams, stop overthinking.
Right. We agree on
But
that. Yeah.
but with Blake Corum, he is for me he is a must start. He is a must start. But again, there are some players that you can't start him over. Like, for example, you can't start him over Chase Brown. You can't start him over Travis Etienne, even against the bad matchup with going against Denver. You, you, I actually probably could start. I could start Blake Corum over RJ Harvey. To be completely honest,
I just don't
I
know
I
how you land there because it's a much lower scoring game against the best defense that they've played in the last, the
Yeah,
3 weeks
get
that
it.
you've
I get
said.
it. There's, but again, if we saw what happened last week in against the Colts were able to move the ball with Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers did produce a little bit better than what he has. And obviously, MVP Matt Stafford is going to find a way, and that coaching staff is going to find a way to move the ball. I understand the over-unders are low, the implied points are low this week. I do think that both teams exceed those points. I do think that the defenses have really, really great stops, but I do think that there's going to be a lot of broken plays, especially with Puka, especially with JSN on both sides. I don't think that this is going to be a game where Sam Darnold's going to throw for 4 interceptions, have a really bad game. And you know what? The thing is, they were close in that game as is. The reason why the implied points are lower right now is because of the score of the last game. I do think that both of these teams are going to have a good offensive game, even without Davante Adams this week. Um, and I just think, it just shows that both teams are going to, this is the first time that 11-3 teams have matched up in Thursday Night Football in history. Now it's not, I don't believe that any, the narrative or anything like that. They're two divisional teams that are fighting for first place. Um, but both defenses are very, very good defense, but there are times where they do flex a little bit. And I do think that honestly, Blake Corum being healthy is going to have the opportunity to get over 80 plus yards this week.
All right. Well, this is going to be one. I have a feeling we're going to do a lot of agreeing later on when we get to other matchups. This is one where we're going to have a fundamental disagreement. We'll just leave it there. You've got him basically close to, if not a must start. I've got him as, let's say, top end of the general options. I can't put him over any of these guys and probably starts, just to name a couple names. Yeah, Aaron Jones, Breece Hall, Jalen Warren, David Montgomery, Omarion Hampton. I'm not playing him over any of those guys. But
I'm playing him over Ashton Genty all day.
now, well, I don't have Ashton Genty on there, so yes, I would play him over Ashton Genty, but we'll get to that matchup. But we'll just leave it here, Tommy. It's not worth arguing forever. You and I are going to have a fundamental disagreement on Blake Corum this week. So we'll leave it there.
That's fine.
Our viewers can take of that what they
And
will.
we'll see
So
what happens tonight. He may be the leading cause to make, basically help you win a fantasy football championship.
I have now. We have the live shows. We'll see if who's going to be on them or whatever. But just fundamentally, if we answer any quorum questions, I will do my best to say, "Hey, Tommy thinks this, but I think this," and you'll say, "Hey, whatever." So
We won't be answering any current questions because the live will
right,
start at
you're right. It's Thursday Night
kickoff.
Football.
So
Okay,
this is
so
why we're
yeah,
going to
this is why we're
create
talking about it
something for
now.
this and why we're talking about it now
You're right.
because y'all have been asking questions about Blake Corum on the TikTok comments, and you guys are going to love what you see tonight.
All right, or hate. It depends on what your perspective is. All right, we spent a lot of time on that, but that was worth it. Let's talk about other options here. In Davante Adams' absence, there are some people online who are obsessed with either Tutu Atwell or Whittington or the other guy's name that I actually can't pronounce. We aren't, not in this game, not with this low of an over-under, so
No,
we would say that Colby Parkinson's going to be the beneficiary of the Davante situation. On the Seattle side, Tommy, pick your poison, Ken Walker or Charbonnet.
all right, so tonight's game is supposed to be slightly rainy and stuff like that. I mean, it's just that's Seattle weather, right? Slightly cold, slightly rainy. It just is what it is. So, I don't see any of those running backs having a big day, to be honest. I feel like, maybe, Kenneth Walker gets close to about 60 yards. He has like 58 yards and, maybe a couple of catches. So he may be, PPR relevant, but I just don't see him scoring a touchdown. The only person I probably could say will score a touchdown is Mr.
I bet you
Charbonnet.
I'll make a bet right now. I'll bet you both running backs finish with uh
10 points.
yeah, 10 points. Charbonnet will get a touchdown and he'll get a couple other, PPR points in there.
He'll
And
get
then
40
Walker
yards in a touchdown.
and then Walker will have like, 60 yards, some extra PPR. They'll both have like 10 points guaranteed. So
Yeah. So
you
you
guys
go.
pick your
You got a
poison.
low end flex play. Go, guys. Let's go get
Yeah.
him.
Um I wouldn't be playing Cooper Cup or Shaheed in this matchup, so not bother. And definitely don't be playing Sam Darnold. He's completely off my board for me in this game. But AJ Barner, like we talked about in the waiver show, he's always a shot. I'm more of a fan of him than Tommy. But even I could recognize there's lots of tight end shots that you could take this week. So unless
Yeah,
you're an emergency, like
Barner, I'm playing in the showdown slate tonight.
oh, cool.
With some of those guys. I mean, because he was cheap, very, very cheap. So, but I anticipate him to get a couple catches.
No, he should have a decent,
Maybe he scores a touchdown.
we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's go to the next game. This is the first Saturday game. We got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Washington Commanders. The Eagles are road favorites, -6.5 points. The over-under is 44.5 points. So not too many for the Commanders, lots of points for the Eagles. So you're starting Eagles defense. You're playing Saquon Barkley. You're playing A.J. Brown. You're playing Dallas Goedert, who's just a touchdown machine at this point, and you're playing Jalen Hurts. Commander side, we've only got one must start. It's Terry McLaurin. It is what it is. He's going to be the best guy there. So Mariota should be able to get him the ball. Terry McLaurin probably starts in this game. Devontae Smith on the Eagles side, who won't hopefully will have a good game in a game where there's this many implied points and probably won't fail you. And Deebo Samuels will probably start, Tommy. I'm not so crazy about it here. I'm really not. I would like to be looking for some other options. He's probably the lowest name on probably starts, I would say, of all
Yeah,
these names. Like,
we are. I mean, obviously, we're in the league that we're in together. Our big money league. We are right now fading on Debo this week, and I've been a Debo lover all year. He has so much talent, but this team has been slightly fading. I think that they're going to, the Eagles honestly rush defense has not been so great. So I anticipate them to run the ball more consistently this game to try to, run that clock into I don't think it's going to work, but they're going to try to basically see who's going to be that running back one for next year, and they're going to start managing that. So there's going to be, pretty much a three-headed monster. But I think Mr. Rodriguez, who's healthy, will find his way to overcome that. But back to Debo, I just feel like he's definitely somebody that we've been super high on, especially during draft season. He produced, but then it was a roller coaster for the rest of the season. And that's just what he was last year. So I don't know if it's just an aged situation or maybe a bad situation he's in.
maybe I don't know. I know that if you had various other options, I mean, like we have him there as probably starts. He's one of the lowest names. Like I could throw in lots of names as general options that I would not want to play over Debo. But I agree with you. Like it's probably not going to be the prettiest of games.
No, and
Um,
you got to remember, I
so
mean, like right now he's the number 41 wide receiver within the last 3 weeks, 18 targets, 12
eh,
receptions, 134 yards,
yeah,
and
yeah.
no touchdowns. So, his points based on his versatility come a lot of times from touchdown. He's not going to put up 2,000 yards rushing, or receiving, all-purpose yards. He's not that player anymore. He is
He's
a
not
tough
going to
runner.
goose you. He's not going to goose you. But
No, he's not going to goose you, but your floor is like 2 points.
I don't know if the floor is 2 points, but put it this way: they're at home, and they're going to have to try to keep up with the Eagles, who are going to have more points than them. So it is what it is. Take of that what you will. Other options in this game. Let's just mention no other Eagles are worth talking about. So let's just mention the Commanders' running back situation. I'm inclined to agree with Tommy that Rodriguez can take back over as the lead back after he was declared out last week and JSM had a good game. I don't think any Commander's back is going to have a good game in this game. So pay attention to the usage so that maybe if you're interested in Rodriguez, he'll be a decent shot next week. But I'm not interested in playing them here. I can't see how anybody would play any of these guys here, right? Like this is not the game
Yeah,
for it.
I don't think in fantasy, in like your fantasy playoff, you can play any of these guys, to be completely honest, in the running game. But I mean, DFS wise, I mean, I think Rodriguez could be a cheap play that could give you a couple points.
Maybe I would maybe I don't know. I just think it's going to be a bad game from them. And concordantly, therefore don't play Marcus Mariota, who's always on the shot on the streamer list. I
Wait,
don't
wasn't
think
Marcus Mariota on he was on the Eagles at one point, right?
Was he?
Yeah,
I can't
he
keep track
was.
anymore sometimes.
Revenge game. Revenge game.
There's always there's nowadays in the NFL, every game is a revenge game
Yep.
from
Because
every player. It's like
imagine if Ryan Fitzpatrick was still playing. It would be a revenge game every single week for him.
yeah, it's a revenge game. All right, let's go to the second Saturday game. We get the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. The Packers are road favorites minus 1.5 points. The over-under is 46.5 points. This is another game that the line bounced around a little bit here. So, you know, not decent enough over-under. Let's go to the must starts. And they both have injury considerations. Must start for the Packers, Josh Jacobs. He has not been practicing this week. Now, it might be some veteran stuff, and he toughs it out. He's a tough guy. He did the same thing last week. If Jacobs is out, then you play Wilson. I don't want to answer a single question on Sunday Live about Emmanuel Wilson if Josh Jacobs is declared active for the game, because if he's active, you play Josh Jacobs. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Chicago, same deal. You're playing DeAndre Swift. If DeAndre Swift doesn't play because he hasn't been practicing this week, if he doesn't play, then you play Kyle Monangai. If not, you play DeAndre Swift. There we go. We've answered the question. So I'm sure we'll get lots of those questions when we have conversation tonight later anyway. Uh, let's go to probably starts. We got one name here. This is DJ Moore, and this is entirely dependent on Roma Dunze. And by the way, we're not even sure about Luther Burden. I don't even know if he's going to be playing in the game. So,
Yeah, no, I think there's a shot where I mean Oduze is I feel like is not going to play this week, and I feel like Burden, based on the limitations and stuff like that, he'll play this week.
okay, well, if Roma Dunze's out and if Luther Burden's out, DJ Moore is the last guy standing. I mean, throwing in Zacchaeus at some point. So, and I get it. DJ Moore has had some real hot and real cold performances, but if they're both out, I guess DJ Moore at home, right? So, I mean,
I'm really really heavy on DJ Moore this week. I think that he's going to have a massive week. I don't think he's going to have like 7 receptions, but I think he'll fall in line. His floor is anywhere from 4 to 5 receptions, and he's probably going to see the end zone.
okay. Well, let's talk about the other options. Therefore, all right, Green Bay side, Tommy. So it looks like Watson is going to be in. I don't know if he's going to be hampered by any particular injury, but Watson, Dobbs, Wicks, throw in a random golden appearance. Is there any? I mean, I know you're probably going to say Watson, but I'm a little more concerned about the injury than he seems to be saying it is. But if you're going to throw in a receiver, it's going to be Watson or Dobbs. What do you think?
These guys play injured, man. I'm telling you something right now. The Green Bay Packers team itself enjoy playing injured, and honestly, I think right now they're playing injured because it's a divisional game. They need to win this game. They're trying to get that first place away from the Bears. I mean, it's just the scenario at this point. So they need to play. I don't feel bad. I don't feel like Josh Jacobs is not going to play. But with Watson, I think he plays. I think he's limited. I think he sees some targets, but I think Jaden Reed is going to be the guy that's going to
Right.
step up this week.
You might be right. I'm sorry I didn't name him. Maybe it's just going to end up being a deal like we had last year, where they end up just spreading it around. It's difficult to assign, a
I
guy who's going to
said it.
get
I
it. But
said it for the past 2 weeks. Jaden Reed is playoffs, fantasy football playoffs production. That's it. If you
okay.
and then there's going to be so much hype going into next year. There's going to be so much hype on Jaden Reed is going to goose egg you into the playoffs. So
Well, therefore, would you be willing to throw in Jordan Love as a streaming option? Because I would. I would.
I would, yeah. I think Jordan Love is a decent streaming option this week. Against the Bears, that they're hot and cold. It is in Chicago, but I do think that, again, the Green Bay Packers are familiar with that area, and that it's pretty much a home field for them as well too. I feel so. I think that it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a very competitive game, especially with the injuries that happened with Micah Parson on that side. I think it's going to ease up a little bit, and they're going to have to score points on both sides.
On the Bears side, we talked about it. If Odunze magically is in, which we don't think he will be, but if he's magically in, I'm not playing him. That's it. I'm not playing him. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Same thing with Burden. I think it's a bridge too far, even if he's in. So I'm not bothering with that. Not with
Yeah,
Zacchaeus.
Burden is he's going to be a burden on your roster if you start him.
Loveland, though, decent enough shot at tight end. I see him similar to what we were saying about Barner. decent shot. Not going to goose you. You can take that shot. I think there's better tight end options, but go for it if you'd like. It makes me feel better about him if Adunze and if Burden aren't playing. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And Caleb, I think he's a little lower than Love, but decent enough streaming option. Take your shots as they are. I seriously think you could find a better quarterback option, but go ahead if you want to. So, this game, I'm worried, Tommy. This game to me smells like it's going to hit an under, but you know, I know they both really, really need to win. We'll see. I know Micah Parsons isn't in the game anymore. The line changed after that was declared too.
Yeah.
So, or he's out for the season. So it'll be a real interesting game. So that's now before we continue, that's Thursday night football, that's Saturday and Saturday. So any guys that you have in these games, if they're, sitting in your flex or something, for example, DJ Moore, get him out of your flex if you're going to play him, move him into your wide receiver slot because you got lots of decisions to be making on Sunday. You don't need to be having it clog up your flex spot if that's the
Yeah,
case.
you don't want to be Roma Duzade on Sunday.
No, no, you do not. Pay attention 3 seconds before kickoff, whatever it's going to
Yep.
be. All right, let's go to the Sunday slate of games here. We got the LA Chargers at the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are home favorites, -2.5 points. The over-under is 49.5 points. Should be a good game here. I know you're a little worried about the Chargers defense keeping up with the Dallas Cowboys offense here. I don't know if I have that much of a fear. I don't know if that affects the start sits. Let's get into this. Must
I
starts
I think it's the other way around.
Okay. Okay. Must starts for the Chargers. One name, Lad McConkey. Let's go. He should have a good game in this game. Must starts for the Cowboys. Javonte Williams, and this is another one. Javonte Williams has not been practicing. If Javonte Williams is not in, you play Malik Davis. 100% you play Malik Davis. If he's not, then you play Javonte Williams. Can't wait to answer lots of questions about that. So that one should be pretty easy. You're playing CeeDee Lamb, you're playing George Pickens, and you're playing Dak Prescott. Uh, Before we go on to probably starts, Tommy, you and I were talking off air. What were your trepidations about Dak in this game?
I mean, like I said, I think the Chargers defense has been playing very well. They held Mahomes in check last week. I feel that Dak hasn't been playing as consistent as he was early in the season
As
and
dominant.
through the midseason as dominant. And yeah, I mean, both teams have something to play for. If the Dallas loses, they're completely out of it. I think mathematically they're still involved, but I mean, they need a lot of help and they need to win. And I just don't see it at this point. I know a couple of weeks ago, after they went on that win streak and they beat the Eagles and then they beat the Chiefs, I thought that they were going to run the table. Well, shame on me. Something bad happened. And it is what it is. I mean, that's football. It's called any given Sunday. So I just think that Dak is a low end quarterback one this week, maybe streaming option, and that's scary to say because a lot of us are riding on
No,
Dak's production. And the reason is because the Chargers defense has been playing very, very well.
they have. They
They have
have.
been playing very, very well. And again, it is in Dallas, but it's not a bad trip for Los Angeles. And and I anticipate, obviously, and this is not defensively, but I anticipate Herbert to have a healthier game this week and be, and ready to go. So I just think Dak is going to have a lot of pressure on him, and we all know what happens with the Cowboys and pressure. Doesn't really balance well.
All right, so this might be another one where we might have a slight difference of opinion, but I think we land in the same spot. So to give everybody context, I think Dak's going to be just fine. Don't worry about it. He's going to be fine. Tommy has slight trepidation in the league that in our league that we're sharing with everybody. We picked up CJ Stroud partially to deny him from the other team, but also in case we wanted to switch from Dak. I still have Dak as a must, and I have Stroud as a probably. Would you consider playing CJ Stroud over Dak in this game? I know that's a difficult question for you.
Not for me.
You
Yeah,
think,
I'm starting him.
all right, so then you and I will have a
If if
discussion
if
about
if
that.
this was my solo decision, I would be starting CJ Stroud over Dak Prescott this week.
Okay. All right. So people can take of that what they are. I'm sure you and I'll have arguments off camera about all this
And
stuff.
I'm sure we'll be starting CJ Stroud this week.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
You'll choose the kicker this week. I'll choose the
We
quarterback.
have we have a bunch of sit decisions to make too. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. Let's go to probably starts. In a game where you're playing the Dallas defense, I don't know how you sit Marion Hampton, although my brother was reminding me, Tommy, that like Hampton's still not even getting most of the snaps, So
Again, they were easing him in. It is what it is.
I
But
gotcha. I
yeah,
gotcha.
but this is the game that he's going to start popping off. Don't worry
Okay.
about it.
All right, probably start Hampton. Other probably starts for the Chargers. Aronde Gadsden had a nice little decent enough bounce back.
Let's
He
put it this way. I would start Marion Hampton over Blake Corum. Move on.
okay. All right. You're playing probably start Gadsden. Check out your tight end options there. And probably start Justin Herbert against the Dallas Cowboys defense. Even JJ McCarthy looked good. So I know JJ McCarthy's been hot and cold, had some cold more recently. You can roll with Herbert here. Other probably starts for the Cowboys. This is where we got Ferguson. Again, it's came down from the mountain a little bit since the, CeeDee Lamb return, etc. So you could roll with it. They don't have a crazy implied points total this week as they did other weeks, but take of it what you will. Ferguson's a decent enough shot. All right. General options here. So Tommy, we don't have the latest. The latest on the Quentin Johnston news is that he was limited in practice and that he is questionable for the game. I actually think Quentin Johnston is going to play in this game. If Quentin
I
Johnston, go
don't
ahead.
think he's going to play.
You don't think he's going to play?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. If Quentin Johnston is in, do you take a shot on Quentin Johnston against the Cowboys?
Uh, yeah, I guess, but I just don't think he's going to play. I think the player that's going to play this week is Trey Harris, and I think Trey Harris has a nice week.
What about
This is
Keenan? What about Keenan Allen?
No, I'm pivoting away from Keenan Allen at this point. I'm going with youth and basically the second round pick and Trey Harris. I think he's been seeing some more numbers the past couple weeks.
If go ahead. Sorry.
And last week he was on like around 80% of snaps, Trey Harris. So I like that for a younger guy. This team is going to need they have a really tough matchup against the Houston next week and then Denver week 18. And they need to win these games. So and Denver obviously is a divisional matchup. So this week against Dallas, I think this is a nice suit up game for him to basically go out there and get multiple targets and get, a great opportunity through the air.
If Quentin Johnston is in, don't play Harris.
If Quentin Johnston is in, don't play Harris. I just don't think he's going to play.
Okay. Okay. No other options in Dallas worth talking about. Let's go to the next game. We got the Minnesota Vikings at the New York Giants. The Vikings are road favorites -2.5 points. The over-under is 43.5 points. This game could go a lot of different ways. We got no must starts in this entire game. Let's go to probably starts. Probably starts for the Vikings. You can play the Vikings D, considering the line, although I know Tommy's worried about the Giants coming to play and putting up some points here. It's the Vikings defense. They're good. You could probably roll with them, especially given the line. Aaron Jones, you could probably roll with him. Again, they're favored. He's been looking okay. Keep it going. Justin Jefferson at some point is going to have a good game. Not sure when. He's going to be in probably starts. It is what it is. It's Justin Jefferson. Probably starts for the Giants. Wan'Dale Robinson, right? And Theo Johnson, the two targets for Jackson Dart. I mean, before we get to general options, how do you see this game going? Do you think the Giants can, have a good game in this game, or do you think it's just they're going to get killed?
I don't think they're going to get killed. I mean, nine is it means no, right? It means no in German.
No,
So,
sorry.
yeah. So, I mean, I don't think he's going to have a good week. I think the Giants are going to put up pressure. I mean, I just think that this is going to be a low scoring game. I take the under, honestly, on this game in total implied points. So I think that both defenses could be valid options this week. But I do think that the Giants are going to put up points. And I think Jackson Dart is going to find a way to make that happen. I think Wan'Dale has a really good game. I think Theo Johnson has a lot of targets. And honestly, I think that Tracy sees a lot of opportunity through the air as well, too.
Yeah, let's get to that. Other options here. So if you're going to play a running back from the Giants, is it Tracy, not Singletary?
Again, it depends on game script scenario where they are, how they're going to be able to move the ball. Last week I was on the Singletary side because I thought that they were going to be able to push the ball and be more competitive. Because they weren't as competitive early in the game. They made their way back. They had to basically fight their way back through the air. This week, I think that in order for them to basically be competitive and to basically hold the game together, they're obviously going to have to play really good defense, but they're also going to have to run the ball on the ground. I think Singletary is a decent option, but I think he's like a low end RB3 this week. So, it's going to be tough to put him in your lineup. But I think the upside comes with Tracy this week. So that's where to go.
Okay. Other options at the wide receiver position. I know Naylor had a big game. I can't see him having a big game for the rest of the year. Addison, if you want to, I would not be taking that shot here.
I think Naylor is a decent option.
DFS maybe.
Yeah, I think he is a decent option for DFS, but I would not play him in fantasy.
I'm not about to have my semifinals resting on Jalen Naylor.
No, no, I think his over under catch prop is like 2.5. So I would definitely take the over. I actually would probably adjust that to alternative like maybe 5 catches this week.
Okay. Addison, I wouldn't take the shot on here. But just a quick mention, if you want to take a shot on Hawkinson, fine. But this is actually a good tight end week, so I think you could find better options elsewhere. And McCarthy's been identified, especially with his performance the last 2 weeks, that he's a streaming option this week. I wouldn't do it.
No.
I wouldn't. And Tommy, I was waiting to actually bring this up.
9.
In my other league that we're not in together. I've been streaming quarterbacks. I'm in the semifinals, and I currently have to make the decision between JJ McCarthy, Bryce Young, Kirk Cousins, and Tyler Show. And right now, I'm on Tyler Show of those options.
Oh, show.
Not Bryce Young.
No, I'd go Tyler Show against the Jets.
Okay, well, we'll get to that horrible
There
game.
is zero hesitation there.
Okay, I'm feeling decent enough about Bryce Young, but we'll get to that game. All
Okay.
right, let's go to the next game. We got the Buffalo Bills at the Cleveland Browns. You want destruction? We got destruction. Buffalo are road favorites, minus 10.5 points. The over-under is 41.5 points. So please play your Bills defense. Other must starts in this game: James Cook and Josh Allen. Must starts for the Browns. Two names. It's the two names you guys know. It's going to be Quinshawn Judkins and Harold Fannin. It is what it is. Take what you can get from their team. Probably starts here. This is where we got Khalil Shakir, the only pass catcher in Buffalo, the only wide receiver that we're ever happy about starting each week, and Dalton Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid, who's awesome, but he kind of, he has a slight injury thing. He's still coming back, and Dawson Knox basically, took most of the benefit, as of late. We'll see. Dalton Kincaid should be able to get back on track here. He's a probably start. No probably start for the Browns. Other options in this game. Tommy, no other Browns you're willing to remotely get in there, right?
Um, okay. So hear me out on this. I think that if you are really, really hurt at quarterback and there is
Oh,
and people are stealing players off the waiver wire, just to get you,
no.
Shador Sanders could be a play this week.
He's not a play over Tyler Show. He's not a play over
No,
Bryce
he's not.
Young.
He's not. But like, say, like if you're in maybe he could be a super flex opportunity, in something like that. He could be a really deep league, in a really competitive 12 team or 14 team league where your bench spots are at 9 or 10 bench spots. Like he could be somebody that maybe on the waiver wire. And say if you lost Patrick Mahomes and you weren't able to pick somebody up that you really wanted to pick up because people were playing, keep away from you. Shador Sanders could have a decent week this week. I think he has a better week this week than next week against Pittsburgh. Buffalo, their pass defense has been hit or miss, but they're gonna be throwing the ball a lot for the Browns. So they're gonna have to play keep up. The spread is what 10.5. So, yeah, I mean, I think, it's disgusting. But this could be a garbage time, uh, you know, opportunity.
I mean, every one of the guys that I told you, like, I would rather play than him. So,
I
I
know,
mean,
but I'm just saying,
you guys
really,
take,
really horrible situation that you're in. That
I mean,
everybody in the league, like everybody coincide, like you have a really good lineup, and everybody's like, we're not going to let him win because he lost a quarterback and blah 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 blah. And only
I'd
player
play
on,
Philip Rivers over him. Ugh,
I would not.
ugh, I would. Yeah, this is, take me what you will. I know we're making content now. This is what you're doing. All right, let's go to the next game. This is going to be an awful game. Can't wait. We got the New York Jets at the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome. I wonder who's going to win this game. The Saints are home favorites, -4.5 points. That's not a big enough spread. The over-under is 40.5 points. Yeah, not enough points. So must starts in this game. You're playing the Saints defense, and you're playing the target king himself, Chris Olave. Let's go. You've been a fan of Chris Olave. It's worked out for you this year, man. It's
Olave, oh oh,
oh oh oh.
Olave, oh
Uh,
oh.
Probably starts in this game. Breece Hall. This is where he lives, and hopefully he can get you enough points to satisfy yourself. You know, go for it, Breece Hall. So we got no other probably
Ugh.
starts in this game. So let's talk about general options. On the Saints side, Tommy, I don't have any other news regarding this. So let's make it simple. If Kamara and Neal aren't playing, are
Neil's
you
out.
it's declared. It's been declared.
He's been declared out.
Okay, so there goes Devin Neal. If Kamara's in, you play Kamara
I don't think he plays.
and Kamara. Okay, so if Kamara's not in, Neal's not in, do you play Audric Estime?
Nope.
All right, I don't want to hear the name Taysom Hill. Oh,
You
oh my
said it.
God. Well, Taysom Hill is the
This
type.
is a 30-point game for Taysom Hill.
Maybe in the past, now it's going to be maybe 15 points. All right, so fine.
30
Taysom Hill,
points.
you want to take a shot at tight end, that's fine.
Oh yeah.
I still think it's hard not to start a starting running back. I think it's going to be Audric Estime, so very deep league. If you want to take that shot at Estime, go for it.
I'm going 7.
All right, Taysom Hill. Therefore, is Jawan Johnson even in consideration then?
Juwan Johnson, yeah, I mean he's going to be the second pass catcher on that offense. So, Taysom Hill is just going to be running the ball and catching some
Yeah,
balls in the flat.
I think Vele's not going to play either, so they're a little bit bereft. They might need him.
Yep.
Now, therefore, if like all these guys are out and stuff, and with the Taysom Hill thing, it makes me feel a little less about show.
No.
Uh, okay, you don't
Nope.
feel as trepidatious. All right.
I do not. That team will get creative moving the ball on the ground. They want to win. And they've shown that they want to win. And they're being competitive. Their defense has been being competitive as well too, and they're playing the New York Jets. The winner of this is going to get a creme brulee.
All right, let's talk about the Jets miserably. Would you be willing to throw in Adonai Mitchell in this game as a shot?
Deep shot, yeah. I
Yeah.
think that, he'll continue to perform. He had a good connection with Cook last week. A lot of it was garbage points. But I do think that, there's going to be a competitive, kind of play in this game. But I think that there is a good opportunity for Adonai Mitchell to perform. And Mason Taylor should be back as well, too, this week, hopefully. So I think that Mason Taylor sees some targets. I don't think that he is a streaming option, but it's going to give a little bit more flexibility for Adonai Mitchell to, be more thoroughly open.
Yeah, Mason Taylor get his 3 catches for 14 yards, and he'll never break a tackle. And
But
there we
again,
go.
it's not here's my thing, right? Yeah, you could give that stat and all that stuff. Congratulations. But the thing is, it's how the team plays when some of these players are bringing presence to the offense, right? So, like, yeah, unfortunately, the quarterback play has been horrendous, and they're throwing these little in routes to basically the tight ends that are like running into brick wall kind of situational plays. Um, it's opening the field for some of these other guys. So yeah, I understand what you're saying with stat wise, but if you're watching the game and you're seeing how some of these routes run and how it's drawing attention away from some of these other players, that is a guy that I think that actually is going to get better production when Mason Taylor's out there in Adonai Mitchell.
Okay. All right. Um, Really no other names even worth talking about in this game.
No,
Let's go to the next game. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Carolina Panthers. This is going to be a good game. Tampa Bay are
yeah,
road favorites -3 points. The over-under
I
is
think this
45.5 points.
I think this game hits an alternative of 60 points.
It just might, and I don't know if Tampa Bay wins this game. This is going to be close. This is going to be a real close game. Must starts in this game. You're playing Bucky Irving. You're playing Mike Evans. Welcome back, Mike. Let's go. Um, Panthers side must start Tet McMillan. This is another one that's an injury thing. So Tet's not been practicing either. I don't know if it's like a maintenance thing,
I
but if
think it's maintenance. I think he plays.
okay, I hope so too.
There is too much on the line in this game that if he doesn't play, then Tampa Bay will just run away with this game.
You might be right. We'll talk about the other options there because if Tet doesn't play, I'm feeling good about some of the other options in Carolina. Let's go to probably starts. We have no probably sorry. I apologize. No probably starts for Carolina, but on the Tampa Bay side, you know, it's basically the rest of their offense. Chris Godwin, Abuka, and Baker, right?
I
Like
think you have no probably starts for
for
Carolina.
Carolina. Oh,
hmm
okay. Who else would you have as a probably start for Carolina?
Uncle Rico,
Rico Suave himself, huh?
Rico Suave himself has to play.
But not Chuba.
Um, I think Chuba has a decent game, but I think his floor is about 7 or 8 points.
Okay. Okay. What's your deference to Rico over Chuba now?
Uh, Rico is more of an explosive play. He's going to be also getting some of the catches in the backfield, and he's going to have a little bit more open space. And he has a little bit more of a lively run when he's open field. Whereas Chuba, yes, he has the great opportunity when he gets open, but he's not getting the same kind of target range through the air. He's a grinder. And I think, he does have a decent opportunity to score a touchdown on the ground, but I think Rico has the better opportunity to have more fantasy production.
Okay. Well, slight difference of opinion there. Speaking of which, let's just get to general options. So, like we mentioned, Jalen Coker was already a decent enough shot already. He's had some good weeks the last couple of weeks. We pointed it out on the waiver show. If Tet does not play, Coker, I think, is very close to a must start.
hmm
And keep an eye on Leggett, the Raccoon King himself. I don't know if he's going to be as good as Coker, but if Tet's out, he could be a deeper league shot himself.
Yeah, I think Xavier Leggett has a pretty decent game this week through the air, to be completely honest. And you guys got to remember he had that 8 target game for 1 catch. So he does get his targets. I think that this could be a game also where it's a divisional game. These divisional games fighting for first place, things change in personnel when you're playing these situational things like we talked about for tonight's game, Thursday night's game. Same scenario with Tampa Bay and Carolina. These two teams are fighting for first place. They have the same record. Um, Things change, and I really do think that Xavier Leggett takes a step up, but I don't feel comfortable playing him in a fantasy playoff position. I have him actually in all of my best ball leagues. So I do anticipate him to, based on matchup and based on the situation, to have a pretty decent game.
And the aforementioned Bryce Young there. I personally think that Bryce Young is a decent streaming option in this game. Like I said, I'm debating between him and basically Tyler Show in one league.
hmm
Tommy would go Show. I'm basically 50-50 at the moment. So take it that way you will. I will say, in our home league here, so I've got Baker and I've got Stroud, and we've got them both as probably starts. You tell me who I should play.
I'm going Baker.
You're gonna go Baker over
Yeah.
Stroud. Okay. Okay. I think it's very close. Very close. I'll see how I feel tomorrow. We'll see. Let's go to the next game. We got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Miami Dolphins. The Cincinnati Bengals are road favorites, -4.5 points. The over-under is 47.5 points. So if anybody doesn't know, Tua Tagovailoa has been benched for rest of season, and I would love for you to pronounce the new quarterback's name for the Dolphins.
Ears. Ears.
I'm gonna have a hard time pronouncing it myself, so I'm just gonna say E. That'll be that'll be as best as I could get until I hear the announcer say it over and over. So I bring this up because the line changed drastically when they made that thing. So by the way, everything that we feel about Darren Waller is now completely different, and basically everything the way that we feel about Jalen Waddle is now completely different. So let's go to the starts here. Must starts in this game. Cincinnati, you're playing Chase Brown, you're playing Jamar Chase, and you're playing T. Higgins if he plays in the game. Uh, Miami, you're playing Devon Achane, and that's about it. Probably starts in this game. One name for you, and that's Joe Burrow. And honestly, Tommy, I was making a joke with Johnny about it. Joe Burrow now, I don't think I dislike a player more in the NFL more than Joe Burrow. He sounds like Shawn Michaels when he lost his smile. That's what he sounds like. Like, woe is me. You're making 50 trillion dollars and oh, you're not having fun anymore. Like what come on. Come on, man. Get over yourself. So
Yeah,
I don't know what the motivation is like. I know that Joe Burrow should be a must start. I know that they should be crushing the Dolphins. I know that, but I know that they could just, oh, we're not we're having fun anymore. I don't want to play anymore. So we
I
got
gotta
him
be
as a
honest.
probably start. Like
Yeah, this sounds disgusting, but I do think that the Bengals defense is a decent start this week. Statistically, when a
maybe we tried this
quarter
before earlier this season against the Jets.
statistically, when a rookie quarterback comes in at mid-season, towards the end of the season, and basically has to play with not a lot of talent around him, it doesn't usually turn well. I mean, these guys are professional football players. I do think that the speed is going to be a little bit faster than college. When he was Quinn Ewers was a Texas Longhorn. Um,
QE.
and yeah, and honestly, I don't know if y'all remember, but he had a really tough time, especially with Mr. Manning basically spelling behind him. So I do think that this is going to be a game where you can potentially start Cincinnati's defense and feel confident that they can basically get a pick six or maybe two in this game, and Achane at that point is irrelevant.
Maybe. We've been there before with the Cincinnati defense. I can't bring myself to do it. But I will say your point is well taken. I mean, we have no confidence in QE, as I'm going to call him from now on. Therefore, Waddle's not there. I'm not playing Waddle. I'm not playing Waller.
Yeah,
Simple as that. It's sad. I mean, Waller was big on the waiver wire. Just I don't feel as good about it anymore. Maybe Ewers turns out to be decent enough, but I'm not taking that shot in my semifinals. Not this week. Not right
no,
now.
and
Um,
probably not next week. So
well, therefore, other options. If you guys have more, if you have more bravery than us, go ahead, throw in Waddle, throw in Waller, but we don't have that. So
good
go
luck.
for it. Go, good luck. On the Cincinnati side, if Higgins does not play, pretty simple. Yosivas is a decent enough throw in. If you want to take that shot at tight end, go ahead, throw in Gesicki. It's not going to be Fanta Claus. So, sorry, it is what it is. They want to go with QE, and it is what it is. I wouldn't want to play the Bengals defense either. But your point is well taken. Your
It's a
point's well
shame
taken.
that Santa Claus is not coming to town this year.
Yep. Uh, and of course, like we said, Joe Burrow. If you don't believe that he's lost his smile and he's going to be boo boo face for the rest of his life here, then go ahead and play Joe Burrow. If you think that they don't care anymore, then don't. You guys make that decision. Okay. We're gonna have like an entire episode in the off season towards controversial topics. We're gonna get in more into Joe Burrow then. We'll save it until then. All right, let's go to the next game. We got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Tennessee Titans. Kansas City are road favorites minus 3 points. The over under is a tiny 37 and a half points. Mahomes, we are sad to see you go. Sad to see you go. Yes, we are. Um, Must starts here. We got one name, Chiefs defense. Let's go. You're playing the Chiefs. And probably starts. Guess what? Probably start Titans defense. You can play them if you need to. You don't know how well Gardner Minshew is going to be, and it's probably not going to be that good. So you could roll with them. Other than the fact Tommy's been burned so many times with the Titans defense because they're just bad. But if you want to play them against a bad offense, go for it. One other probably start in this game, and that's Kelsey and Tommy. I didn't even want to put him here. Like I'm scared of it. I don't know what they're going to do, but I know that Minshew, if he's going to throw to somebody, it's going to be Kelsey. So, their motivation's out the window. If you don't believe they're going to do anything, then just, say goodbye to the Chiefs if you don't want to go that route. Other options in this game, pretty simple. It's such a low over under. I don't know how low you got to go on your running backs. If you want to take a shot on Hunt, I would do it over Pacheco. If you need a running back option, go ahead. Rashee Rice, how the mighty have fallen. I don't want to take the shot. I don't want to take a shot on anybody in this game. I don't.
Yeah, and there's obviously chatter that Rashee Rice might be out this week. He's basically still in concussion protocol. And honestly, if I was the Chiefs, I'd play the sit rep this week. There's no reason.
Well, then I mean, I don't know where anybody's points comes from in the entire game. Like, I mean, throw in Juju or something. I mean, it's
Thornton is out.
Thornton, right?
No, he's out. He's out.
That's what I'm saying. He's out. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
We'll
I
see.
mean, we'll see. It's just it's a
Noah Gray. It's Noah Gray time.
we'll see. This game could very well hit the under. And therefore on the Titans side, I don't want to play any of the Titans because the Chiefs defense is still good. I don't want to play DK. I don't want to play Io Manor. I don't want to play either one of the running backs, Pollard and Spears. I mean, I just don't. It's just going to be an ugly game. And you think the Titans win this game, right?
Yeah.
Final score of the game?
Nope.
11 to
Uh,
10.
no. I'll give it 15 to 11.
15 to
Weird.
11.
Weird.
It's a great
Weird
score.
score. Weird score.
Yeah. So take of that what you will. Yeah, let's go to the next game. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Denver Broncos. Denver are home favorites minus 3 points. The over is 46.5 points. Let me tell you right now, if Jacksonville wants to be the real deal, they have to win games like this. So I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think they win this game, but if they want to be considered top tier in the AFC, they have to do games like this. Must starts in this game. You're playing Travis Etienne despite the bad matchup. Denver side, you're playing RJ Harvey and you're playing Cortland Sutton. Let's go. Welcome back, Cortland Sutton. Other options in this game. I don't like as much as other options, but the Broncos have one of the best Ds in the NFL. So you play the Broncos defense here at home in this game. Probably start Jacoby Myers, right? If you're going to play a receiver for the Jaguars, it's Jacoby Myers, right?
Yeah, 100%. And so I've actually been looking into this game, and there's been a lot of talk that what's his name, the defender for Denver,
So
Patrick
it's
Surtain.
Sertan.
Patrick Surtain may be covering Jacoby Myers, the number 2 wide receiver on Jacksonville, meaning that he is technically the number 1 wide receiver on Jacksonville because he's the most productive wide receiver on Jacksonville. So Brian Thomas could have a nice game this week.
Yeah, he just might. Although it is Denver's defense, so
That is
caveats
Denver's
with
defense, but they're going against the number 1 quarterback in the past 3 weeks.
that's
It's
true.
Trevor Lawrence, but
We
I think that this takes a slight
it, uh,
regression.
we do. We were worried about Trevor in this game.
I honestly think that Trevor and also Bo Nix are pretty decent starting options this week. They're not streamers. I think they're definitely like, plug in. You have to start them based on what they've been producing.
Well, that's interesting.
Um,
Maybe I'm more optimistic than you on Knicks. I've got Knicks as a probably start in this game. I'm encouraged by their implied points total. They got a lot of options there, so maybe I'm more optimistic than you are on Knicks. But I wouldn't. I agree with you on Lawrence. My good feelings about Lawrence has come to an end this week. But take of that what you will. Other options in this game. I agree with Tommy on the Jacksonville side. If this whole narrative is true, Brian Thomas seems to be like he's back and he's doing well. So Brian Thomas is a shot in this game. I don't know if I like him as much as some other shots, but he's 100% a shot in this game. Um, by the way, Parker Washington doesn't look like he's going to play. Or sorry. He played in the last game, but now it's questionable for some reason. So keep an eye on that going forward. I think the Brenton Strange business, I think that train might have left the station now. I think it might be done. So it's too bad. I think he's talented. I wouldn't do the shot on Lawrence. But Tommy, here's a question for you on Denver side. Um, Franklin, who's now getting it done, even though he's like the 4th receiver in terms of snaps now, he's still getting it done. So would you throw in Franklin in this game?
um, it's funny. I actually had him in one of my DFS plays this week, and because I anticipate him to actually have a pretty good game, but I think Cortland Sutton is the primary, and he's going to continue to be the primary. I think this is going to be a nice Cortland Sutton game this week.
Consolidation of targets then. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. We'll see. If Franklin has another good game, even in this game, then I actually don't care about the snaps anymore. I've been on Franklin all year. I got off him a little bit because there was a couple game bad stretch, but we'll see. We'll see how this game goes. Let's go to the next game. We got the Atlanta Falcons at the Arizona Cardinals. Atlanta are road favorites minus 2.5 points. The over-under is 47.5 points. Should be a nice bit of a shootout type of game here. Must starts in this game. Bijan Robinson. Drake London, if he plays, he is a must
Hmm.
start in this game. We don't know if he's going to play yet. And concordantly, Kyle Pitts. If Drake London doesn't play, Kyle Pitts is number 1 or number 2 tight end this week for sure.
I think he's just going to continue the trend. To be honest, I don't think he's going to score 3 touchdowns, but I think he sees the end zone and probably sees anywhere from 80 plus yards. I mean, it is a contract year too, and Kirk
Yes,
Cousins is going to make them pay him. That's
maybe.
what it sounds like. So
Maybe. Even if London plays, yeah, I agree. It's hard to sit Kyle Pitts after 70,000 points, however many he had.
Yeah.
Um, Must starts for the Cardinals. I don't care if Harrison plays or not. I don't care. You're playing Michael Wilson. He should have a good game in this game. And you're playing Trey McBride. Let's go. Probably starts. I didn't have him listed here because I actually don't think Harrison's going to play. But if Harrison plays, is he a probably start to you?
Yeah. Yeah. It's Michael Wilson has been playing extremely well. Um, it's just I don't know if Harrison comes back. Harrison is the far more talented wide receiver, and he was showing a lot of connection with Brissett before he got injured. So I do think that he bumps back into that role. It's going to be basically, and I don't think this takes completely away from Wilson, but
Uh,
I do think that this is going to be a three-headed monster through the air. They have no running backs, so this is all throwing. This might be a game where he throws 60 times.
he just might. He's already done that once this year. So yeah, I'll
Yeah.
I'll, I'll add him into probably starts. I just don't think he's going to play. That's the thing. I just think they're kind of shutting him down a little bit. Um, well, the other probably start there is Jacoby Brissett. I mean, he managed to get it done even against the Texans in garbage time. So now he's playing at home against the Falcons. Let's go, Jacoby Brissett. Probably start. Let's go.
Yep.
Other options here, the aforementioned Arizona running back situation, which we talk about every stupid week on the waiver show. Carter and DeMercado. Do you want to play either of them in this game?
No,
There's going to be some value there. You know that we're going to talk about them next week. You know it.
that's cool. We could talk about him next week, but we're not going to play him next week. So
All right.
don't do it.
All right. I would say if you had to, my pick would be Carter, not DeMercado. But
My pick
you
would be zero.
you take of that there. Other options for the Falcons. If you believe Algier is going to vulture a touchdown, play Algier. If you don't, then don't play Algier. Pretty simple. I'm not playing any of the other Atlanta wide receivers, and Kirk Cousins, I do think is a streaming option. I was considering him instead of Tyler Show or Bryce Young, like I said earlier. I I agree with Tommy. I think you know, he's going to be okay in this game against Arizona. Just depends on how good do you think it's going to get. So this game could end up being a shootout. You make that decision there. I'm not sure yet. Let's go to the next game. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Detroit Lions. Detroit are home favorites, -6.5 points. The over-under is the highest of the week, 51.5 points. Lots of value here. Let's go. Must starts in the game. You're playing Jahmyr Gibbs. You're playing Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're playing Jamison Williams. You're playing Jared Goff. On the Pittsburgh side, welcome back to must starts, DK Metcalf. Let's go. He should have a good game here. We've said that before, and he's failed. So let's hopefully he has a good game in this game. Probably starts in this game. You're playing Jalen Warren, despite the omnipresence of Kenneth Gainwell. I think that it was a bit of an illness situation that he had in the past game. I think he's back. Warren should be a good probably start in this game. And you can even, as a consideration, think about Gainwell, but they are playing the Lions, so cap certain expectations. And you're playing probably start here, Montgomery. We say this all the time, Tommy. This many implied points and this much of a spread. Montgomery's been good as of late, right? Probably start Montgomery.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think this may be a game that he might step back a little bit. He's going to get his touches, but I don't think he's going to get the strong touches that are going to get him the fantasy points that you need. I think this is going to be a good game for him for the team, but not fantasy.
Well, this is a popular question online. David Montgomery or Blake Corum?
Blake Worm.
Okay, that one's okay. Not a question for you.
I got a question for you. We talked about Jacoby Brissett last game, last slate.
Sure.
Jacoby Brissett or Jared Goff?
Jared Goff.
I
Jared
don't
Goff's
think
a
so.
Jared Goff's a must start. 29 implied points total at home against Pittsburgh. I don't know how
I
you
don't think
sit him.
so. I don't think so.
Okay, then
I
why
think
why ask me then?
because I'm just saying. I think Brissett is gonna finish as the number one or number two this week.
Right. Well, you could tell everybody who may or may not be listening to this who might have to make that decision. If you're asking the person who's going to put up that many points, it's Jared Goff to me, but you take of it what you will. I know people may or may not be listening for that exact decision, people who we know. Um, let's go to other options in this game. Pittsburgh Steelers. You want to take the roulette at tight end? Go for it. I don't, because I think there's lots of other
No.
tight end options. Not taking the other options at wide receiver. But like I said, Kenneth Gainwell, that's a lower end running back option. If you want to take that shot there, that's fine. I'd rather play Corum than Gainwell. That's a line for me. So take of that. Detroit side, I'm not playing Brock Wright. I'm not playing Tesla in this game. They consolidate their targets as they have it. So yeah, it's not worth talking about anybody else there. Um, let's go to the next game. And we've got destruction in this game. We got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Houston Texans. The Texans are minus 14.5 points. The over-under is 37.5 points. Okay, this is the lowest implied points total in like 20 or 30 years or something. The implied points total for the Raiders is 11.5 points. So yeah, the Texans are the best defense this week. Play them. Congratulations. Good for you guys. So you're playing the Texas defense. You're playing Woody Marx. Woody Marx has not been practicing this week. So if he plays, you play him. If he doesn't play, then what? Must start Jawar Jordan?
Ogunbowale.
Agunbawa, I know you're like 50-50 on them. I think Jawar Jordan's a decent play if we get to that point. Other must starts in this game, Nico Collins. We got one must start for you, and this is going to be the only start we talk about in the whole game. It's going to be Brock Bowers. We hope that he PPRs his way to relevance, and we hope that magically he gets in the end zone. But before we talk about anything else, how does Vegas get down the field at any point in this game?
Throwing the ball to Brock Bowers.
Does it work?
I mean, it worked last week with Brissett and
that was garbagey. That was very garbagey.
Yeah, but garbagey happens. Garbagey works. So
I know, but Geno or Kenny Pickett is not as good as Jacoby Brissett.
No, but you were high on Geno all season, so we're just hoping for that one game where he could do really well.
When you say high on Geno, I was higher on Geno than I was on what they had the prior year. And anyway,
Aiden O'Connell is good.
Yeah. Okay. We're not getting into that now. Probably starts in this game. Dalton Schultz, let's go. In a game where they have this many implied points against one of the worst teams in football, let's go. He's been red light, green light. Time for some green light. And this is where we got Stroud probably start. He's a big consideration, like we said, for me over a multitude of guys in this week. So I really like Stroud this week. Tommy, I'm not playing a single other Raider, including Genty, right?
I'm not playing Genty at all.
Right. Yeah. Full sit for me. I'd play Corum over Genty. I mean,
1000%.
Yeah. That's just sorry, guys. It ended up. Now, I think the Raiders might have a good next week. We'll get to that next week against the Giants.
Get there.
Yeah. But don't play him this week. By the way, please DM us or message us or whatever. Anybody who has Genty who's in the semifinals, like let us know if you made it there. Congratulations that you managed your team thus far. Other options for the Texans. I guess you could take a shot on Christian Kirk or Higgins here, right, Tommy? Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, Jaden Higgins, I feel better about than Christian Kirk. So I'd probably say, but I don't know if I'm playing them in regular fantasy. I mean, DFS wise, yeah.
To let your semifinals rest on the shoulders of secondary options, third options in Houston, really. I mean,
yeah, I think it's Nico Collins boom week.
Okay. Yeah. So the Texans are going to win. Congratulations, anybody with the Texas defense. Let's go to the next game. We got the New England Patriots at the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens
Sunday night football.
The Ravens are home favorites, minus 2.5 points. The over-under is 47.5 points. Were you surprised by this line? I thought it'd be much closer.
I was surprised that they flexed this game.
Why?
Because Baltimore, I don't know. Baltimore hasn't been playing so well.
No, but they're getting it done. This is a big match when it comes to playoffs.
Honestly, I would have rather seen Pittsburgh and Detroit Sunday Night Football. But hey, we don't always get what we want.
Must starts in this game. Baltimore, you're playing Derrick Henry. You're playing Zay Flowers. Must starts for New England. You're playing Travion Henderson. Let's go. Welcome to the 100-meter dash here. Let's go. And you're playing
to the Thunderdome.
And you're playing Drake May. So Drake May, we talked about it last week. If he wants to be MVP, you have to win games like that. And he did not win that game. The second half was bad for the Patriots. So if he wants to stay in it, he's going to have to win games like this. I don't. I think the Ravens win this, and I think the Bills take over that division there. So, but you still play Drake May. Fantasy wise, he's been too good. Probably starts in this game. This is where we've got Lamar, and this is where we've got Andrews. Tommy, our fear with Lamar, I mean, it's been well served. I mean, what the game that they just won against the Bengals, how many what did he throw? 8 passes or whatever it was? Like they didn't need to do much to win that game.
Yeah, it was not good fantasy production. I honestly I've seen a lot of questions about Drake May or Lamar Jackson, and I'm going
Drake
Drake
May.
May. Yeah, 100%.
Well,
I
let's
mean,
put that up to Lamar Jackson. CJ Stroud or Lamar, it's CJ Stroud for me.
CJ Stroud.
Every one of those guys and probably starts, I would play over Lamar Jackson. I would.
Yep.
I mean, Bo Nix or Lamar, that's probably close, I would say.
Bo Nix.
Yeah, I mean it's close. I mean, I'd play Lamar over the streaming options for sure, but
This is crazy, but I think Lamar is the drop candidate at this point.
oh, I don't know about that.
I mean,
I don't know about that.
you're this far in the season. I mean, you got him on your roster for a reason, but I don't think you could play
What's
him at all.
Baltimore's next week match? I don't have it on the in the top of me. Well, while you look that
Um,
up, I'll just mention that therefore what we're talking about, we recognize the trepidation here. Now we got Mark Andrews here. I got it. Andrews and Likely both failed completely against Cincinnati last week, but they just didn't need them.
they
So
got Green Bay next week at Green Bay.
yeah, it's gonna be
So
hard, but I'd rather play Lamar Jackson than, you know, streaming option X, I guess,
I'd rather
So
play Tyler Show than Lamar Jackson.
I would not. That's a bridge too far there. I would not.
I would.
O- Other options in this game, New England, we could play the wide receiver roulette, Diggs, Boutte, Douglas, and Hollins. You're on the Diggs side, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Um, okay. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Hunter Henry, he's always an option at tight end if you want
I
to
think
throw him in
Henry
there.
has a decent game this week.
He just might. He just might. Stevenson, late, very, very low end other running back to be thrown in, right? How would you compare Stevenson to, well, obviously you're going to say Corum, but how would you say Stevenson to Gainwell?
I would say that Stevenson's going to get more touches on the ground and have more of an opportunity to score a touchdown. So yeah, I lean Stevenson over Gainwell this week.
Stevenson or the Kansas City running backs?
Stevenson.
Stevenson or the Seattle running backs?
I mean, I think that's just pretty close. So I
Okay.
think
It's all
whoever, yeah,
close. It's all
they might
close.
they might all score 10 points each.
It's all close. Let's talk about the Ravens real quick. I'm not interested in playing any of the other Ravens options. Like we said, I'm not willing to play Likely here. Just want to mention for all our viewers, Tommy and I recognize that we both called out Andrews and especially Isaiah Likely as weak winners last week because they were playing the Bengals. Us and along with the entire fantasy community online, we were all wrong. Okay. But it was the right call. I just want to emphasize this. Nobody could predict that the Bengals were going to do nothing. We're going to put no pressure. They didn't need to do any. The Ravens didn't need to do anything to win that game. We didn't predict that Joe Burrow was going to have boo-boo face for the entire game. So take of that what you will. We'll take the L on that, but like that was the right call. So anyway, we're not playing Isaiah Likely here, and Mark Andrews is a probably start. Just wanted to emphasize that. All right, let's go to Monday Night Football. We got the San Francisco 49ers playing the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are home. Sorry. The 49ers are road favorites, -6.5 points. The over-under is 46.5 points. Tommy, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to throw out a bold prediction here. I think that I don't know if they're going to win the game. I think the Colts exceed expectations here. I was encouraged by how Rivers looked in the absolute worst conditions against the Seahawks. I thought he looked competent, and that's all you have to look. You just have to be competent enough to get the ball out your hand. And now they're at home playing a way worse defense. I'm feeling pretty decent about them.
Um, I completely disagree with you.
Okay.
Uh, I think San Francisco smacks around Indianapolis and brings back a 44-year-old to life, and I think it's not going to be good. Yeah, San Francisco's defense is not great on paper based on all the injuries, but Mr. Sala over there does a really good job doing what he does with the players he got, and he has a really great scheme, and I think that they'll have a little bit of a hold on this game, but I do think that Jonathan Taylor has a decent week. it's I don't think he's going to cap 20 points this week. I think he's going to get anywhere from 14 to 16 points, unfortunately. Um, and you need more than that. And it's good to hope, Billy. It's really good to hope. But I
We'll
just
see.
think that it might be a competitive game till halftime, and then after halftime, that's when the stars show up on San Francisco side, and Christian McCaffrey scores 2 points, two touchdowns.
Well, it doesn't change. I mean, from a option perspective, it's not like I feel bad about the 49ers options. I do think this is going to be a lot of points in this game. So must starts in this game. You're playing CMC. You're playing Juwan Jennings. Let's go. Juwan Jennings has been good. You're playing George Kittle and you're playing Brock Purdy. Let's go. Indianapolis. One must start. Jonathan Taylor. Let's hope he can keep it rolling. And I think he has a chance to. Probably starts in this game. Given the line, this is where we get the 49ers defense. But like I said, I'm happy to put them as a probably start. I would not be playing them. I'm worried about the Colts putting up some points. And the 49ers, man, they gave up a whole lot of points to the Titans. So you take of that what you will. Um, we got no other probably starts in this game because of the whole Rivers situation. Like I said, I think Rivers is going to be okay, but I recognize that now everything is depressed. For example, all these guys on the Colts, that includes Ty Warren, Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, and Josh Downs. All four of these pass catchers, I want to be able to look at whatever options I have. So, for example, Tommy, I'm playing Colby Parkinson happily over Ty Warren in this game.
Oh yeah.
Happily, happily, happily. Um, I
It
mean, we
was
could
never a thought until basically 2 weeks ago. So yeah.
Dalton Schultz, I'm playing over Ty Warren. Mark
Yep.
Andrews, I'm playing over Ty Warren. Every guy that you see in Mustin, probably I'm playing over Ty Warren. Every
I don't know about Mark Andrews, to be honest. I may take the shot on Ty Warren there.
Okay. Okay. You take it what you are. The wide receivers, though, I mean, if you're going to throw in somebody, I guess it's going to be Pittman, right? But I don't feel that good about it.
No, no, I think that it's going to be a rough play. Honestly, I think it's going to be a Taylor and maybe Ty Warren opportunity with a slight dash of Pittman. That's it.
Okay. It's a nice little stew of the Indianapolis food there. All right. Other options for the 49ers. So the latest on Pearsall is that he's not practicing. And judging from what I saw, I don't think Pearsall plays in this game. I don't
I
think he
don't think he
plays.
plays for the rest of this regular season.
He might not. So if that's the case, I feel even better about Juwan Jennings. And
He
I
re-aggravated his PCL, and he needs time. So
yeah. So I'm not taking any other shots on the San Francisco guys. It's a consolidation of targets, but I just thought I'd mention Robinson as a backup running back, he's always a shot if you think the 49ers are going to pull ahead to a point where they want to save CMC. So if you think that happens in this game, go ahead and take your shot on Robinson. So there we go. But that's the slate of games here. We pointed out a lot of these start sit decisions, so we'll be excited to talk about more of that with you guys when we get to that point. And just a reminder, all of our must starts and probably starts will be posted in the description of this episode's video on YouTube. So please
yep.
check us out there. Closing thoughts, Mr. Lang?
Yeah, please, everybody tune into our TikTok live tonight. We will be starting at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standing Time. We'll be going over all of your start sit questions while covering the first quarter, maybe get into the second quarter of tonight's game. So we're going to be doing that live tonight. So bring your questions. But again, we truly appreciate everybody that jumps into our content and watches our videos. So if you could please like, share, and subscribe, we would greatly appreciate it.
Yes, we would. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.